everyone, and welcome. It is Niran here, and today it is time for somewhat of a different video on this channel at the moment. Now, first of all, you're gonna have to bear with me. I'm ill. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really ill. I'm so ill. I'm actually, this is shocking. So if I sound ill, please, for the love of God, just bear with me. I do apologize. There's not really much I can do, but I still wanted to get a video out for you. And today, I don't know, it's a little bit early in the year. There's still like, what, 4.5 months till FIFA 20 comes out, but I've already seen a really good set of concepts and designs looking ahead to FIFA 20 career mode with some great ideas, some great things that we would all, I'm sure, love to see added to the game mode. I've done plenty of videos in the past on teams, leagues, and all sorts of features that we want to see in FIFA 20, both generally and in career mode. So if you want to see any of those, check them out. They'll be in the description below, I'm sure. Also, shout out to the guy who made these concept designs. If you want to check him out on Twitter, you can do. It links to him and his Instagram will be down in the description, but it's infinitybykeo is his @ so go and follow him, go show him some love. Now I'm going to be showing you 3 screenshots or 3 designs that have been made by this guy. And first of all, we've got the squad tab. Now, Bayern Munich is the team that's being used here or being shown off. There is a lot going on, so let's try and get through everything one by one. First of all, top right of the screen, board confidence is split up into a couple of different factors, or just general confidence in the manager. You can see Keo here has gone for 100 in manager confidence. I like that. He's a humble man. But it's split up into a couple of different things. We've got 99 on what I can only assume is fan confidence. I don't know for that for sure, but judging by the logo, that's what I assume that would mean. Below that is going to be either from the board or from the players, sorry. I've always liked the idea of having confidence in the manager that means more than just the board. At the end of the day, the board decide what happens and what doesn't. Other factors that go along with that are what the fans think of you and what the players think of you as well. The players have, decreased confidence in you. They might play worse, for example. In the actual squad tab little bit, or where the gap is for that, you can see that it's split up into 2 sections. We've got senior and youth. Now, again, another thing I've always wanted in career mode for so long is the ability to manage youth teams as well, or young teams like under 21s, under 19s, etc. And as you can see on the youth segment of this, I imagine the senior segment will be exactly the same, but just for your usual A team. We've got the starting 11 for the under 19s first team, and you can see just in the top right corner there, you've got the skill, chemistry, and energy bars. So energy, again, to do with stamina, literally how fit your team is going into the next game. Skill, I assume, could be a bar that compares to the rest of the division you're playing in, and then actually shows how good your team is, compared to the opposition. And then chemistry is how well they'll play together. Again, chemistry in career mode is something that I wanted for ages. You have a team of individuals that you pile together in one season. They're not going to play as well together as a team that's been pretty much the same for 3 years. They're not going to know the nuances of playing alongside each other. A great example of that in real life is Fulham. So as you can see down in the bottom right, you can switch between different elements of youth teams. So I assume that's going to be under 21s, under 19s, and then under 17s. Currently on the screen here, we have the under 19s. Once again, would love to see youth teams or B teams and under 21 leagues, etc. on career mode. Saves your young players wasting away in the reserve section of your A team and they're not actually playing any games. Obviously, in real life, if they're in the reserves, they're most likely going to play in the reserves team that week, the under 21 team, the B team, whatever it is. We've got a higher amount of squad players, I imagine, because of that, so they might have to bump up the maximum from like 52 to maybe something more like 60 to accommodate all of those different teams. Squad hub, I assume, is just going to be the normal. To be honest with you, I like the squad hub as it is. If there's one thing that EA are going to leave the same, or I'd like them to leave the same and not do anything with and not prioritize, it's probably the squad hub. I think that works absolutely fine as it is. Call player meeting as well alongside that, which I think is quite a good idea. I've always wanted to be able to actually talk to players when they have any sort of concern about their position in the squad, for example, if they're not playing enough or if they want to go out on loan or whatever. Being able to actually respond to them would be great. And as you can see, discussing tactics, match fitness, mentality, and issues with selected players, a wide scope of stuff that you can actually talk to and have meetings with players about. And then on top of that, we've got simming youth games, the youth academy, and youth training. Youth training, pretty self-explanatory. I imagine that's literally just training your young players and molding them into a certain position. position or whatever. Youth scouting in the academy seemed to be something that this guy was hinting at. Maybe being able to scout actual other youth academies and bring in players from lower leagues or from abroad. And then simming youth games as well, managing that one. Again, pretty self-explanatory there. Now, the second screenshot is for transfers and transfers only. And again, I really like this one. I think every single one is color coordinated as well. So on the left-hand side, we've got transfer budget, usual in terms of the actual amount in terms of transfers you got and wages, but then also a nice little reminder of how long you've got till the end of deadline day, so you're not accidentally panicking right at the end of the transfer window and you haven't got any sort of plan. And then also a position map as well to show how many players you've got. In my opinion, this guy probably needs to invest in some midfielders, judging by that one. Now, sim transfers is just below that. I don't really know how that would work. I don't know what that would mean. I don't know whether that's literally your transfers are completely simulated. You don't even choose what happens. The game just sort of automatically does something for you. I personally would never use that. I love doing transfers myself on career mode, but I guess if you've not got too much time on transfer window, or you don't really care about a depth player that you bring in and you're just like, the game can sort something out for me, that might be quite useful. Or it might just be how the current delegation system works with your assistant manager. Scouting assignments there just to the right of transfer budget as well. Nothing amazing going on there. It's just sort of the usual stuff. Personally, I do think EA need to refine the mechanics of that still and make sure that your scouts know more about more players. I'm not saying make it easier, but it's just unrealistic. Your scouts not knowing as much as, like, they know so little about the players in the league around them. And you've got like a 5-star scout and he knows about 5% of the players in the league that you play in. That's completely inaccurate. They would definitely know more about the players in their own domestic league. Searching players to the right-hand side of that as well. It features a fixed potential there. Obviously, I like the idea of having, you know, their age, overall potential, you know, recently searched and stuff. But just as an aside, I would like it if EA removed fixed potentials. Managing transfer staff is quite an interesting one. I don't know whether that means scouts or potential negotiators, but backroom staff is something I've wanted in career mode back for so long. It used to be in old school FIFAs, and that would always be welcome back. Objectives as well. Do transfer objectives actually exist right now? I think they kind of do in a sense of, what's it? Brand exposure or something like that, and, you know, could like sign a big player or whatever. But it would be quite nice to have some actual transfer objectives as well. Some very detailed ones there about a goalkeeper who needs to be above 6 foot. I mean, I don't know whether that would necessarily be an objective set out, but it's a good idea. I would definitely recommend goalkeepers who are above 6 foot. But I am definitely a big fan of that. Would like to see objectives added for transfers. And then finally, the transfer hub. In terms of the actual design, not too much different going on there. You know, a bit of layout changes or whatever. But generally speaking, there does need to be another set of refinements to this as well. It's just so fiddly. You know, every time you remove a player from the shortlist, it goes back to the top. Why? I just want to stay where I was. It makes using the shortlist so difficult. You can't sign players from the search players section. You can't make bids for players from the GTN scouting section. It's just a mess. It's far too fiddly, and you've got to be in certain places at certain times to do really simple things, and I just can't be bothered with it sometimes. And then the final screenshot will be a new tab altogether, the finances section, which looks really nice actually and really clean. So fair play, Keo. This looks absolutely sick. You've got your income and your expenditure as well. As you can see, you've got match ticket pricing. I think I'm going to assume that's work that needs being done to the stadium and maybe building upon the stadium, improving it slightly, and also kit sales and merchandising as well. Would they go to the actual transfer budget? Hopefully. Otherwise, as you know, as it is currently, it's a little bit useless. Budget allocation, pretty self-explanatory. Sponsors there as well. Love that. You've got expectations from your actual main kit sponsor, for example. So increase shirt sales by a certain amount. Time for 3 commercial ads this season, which might appear in different places, you know, in the advertising boardings, etc. And as you can see, there's a certain amount per year, a certain contract length, sponsor confidence as well, sponsor quality there with Hublot and Adidas. I don't actually know what the one in the middle is or how you pronounce it, but regardless, really like the idea there. I'd love to be able to change kit suppliers actually as well. Speaking of the Adidas section there, it would be nice to be able to do that. Obviously, changing kit sponsors can be quite difficult with licensing, I imagine, but it would be sick to at least have behind-the-scenes sponsors like you used to on FIFA 6, FIFA 7, etc. Contracts and clauses, yeah, this is a great place to have those, I guess, and to really focus on that. Managing finance staff, again, backroom staff, something that really needs to be brought back. Request funds is there as well. Very small feature that was extremely helpful. And then finally, UEFA Financial Fair Play, which I find very interesting. It's not something I've ever really thought about. As someone who doesn't really know fully how financial fair play works, I wouldn't really know how this would be implemented, but I'm sure if implemented correctly, it would actually be a really, really good idea. There might be consequences for spending too much or having too much in outgoings comparative to how much you're bringing into the club in merchandising and ticket prices, and then therefore you might have to change the ticket prices or season ticket prices or the amount. That, though, is going to wrap up this FIFA 20 career mode concept design. Once again, feel free to go and check out the designer down in the description below. Would definitely recommend. He's got Twitter and Instagram. The links will be down there. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below. What else you think needs to be added to FIFA 20 career mode and how realistic you think this is going to be going forward into future EA games. But if you enjoyed the video, slap a like on it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. It's the big red button under the video and it massively helps me out. You can also follow me on social media these days too. My Twitter and Insta are at @theofficialfng. Links are down below. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.